Digestive System by Laura Hearn. So first of all, food is entering the digestive system via your mouth, and then within the mouth your food is broken down by mechanical and chemical actions. So chemical would be your saliva and the enzymes that it carries to help break down the food, and mechanical would be your teeth. So that's where the term masticating, which means your food is being broken down by your teeth. Once within the saliva, there is different enzymes, that help to break down the food, and they all have different individual roles. They also continue into the stomach once they have started, obviously, in your mouth. A couple of the enzymes, I do apologise. So we have amylase, and that helps break down starches. So that'd be your pasta, rice, potatoes, those sort of carbohydrates. And then we have the lingual lipase, which breaks down the fatty acids, and that helps your body to digest them. And obviously, as you can see, we've got other ones as well. For enzymes to work, there's three optimum conditions, and one of them is for a substrate concentration. So that means that there's the correct amount of enzymes within a solution to help break down the food in whatever the enzyme needs to work. If there's not enough enzymes, then it won't break it down properly. Or if it's temperature is also another thing that affects it. If it's below 37, then the chemical reaction will not happen completely. It will start to break down the food, but then it will slow down and stop working. And then if the temperature is too high, it will denature and die, because it needs to be able to still work at the correct temperature. Also, the pH has got to be correct. Depends on where the enzyme is, but if it's a stomach enzyme, then the pH needs to be ideally 2. A swallow. Once food has been chewed and chemically broken down in your mouth, you will then swallow it, and it will go down your esophagus into your stomach. As we can hear, your esophagus goes into the stomach, and then it goes into the liver. So the stomach, this is actually a J-shaped hollow muscular bag. The stomach contains strong acids which kills any possible microorganisms which may have been consumed, and also assists with the breaking down of semi-digestive food. The digestive food is actually called chyme. The main enzyme found in the stomach acids are pepsin, which is released by chief cells, and also parietal cells, which secrete gastric acid and intrinsic acid. Once food has gone through the stomach, it then goes into the liver. This is one of the most important organs of your body. It plays a very important role and has over 500 different functions. Once the food has passed through your stomach, the liver then breaks down the food and converts it into energy and helps eliminate waste. And then once we've come out of the liver, we have the gallbladder, the pancreas, the small intestine, and the large intestines. So whilst we have the gallbladder, there's no actual known reason or use for the gallbladder, and your body can function perfectly well without it. So I think throughout generations, our bodies have just learnt to not use it. And then obviously we have the pancreas, which is a gland which secretes hormones, including insulin and glucagon. This helps to regulate blood sugars and those functions. Next we go into the intestines, which is the small intestines, which is actually 22 foot long compared to the large intestine, which is only 6 foot long. But the larger intestine is actually wider, so that is where it gets its name from. There we go, the final destination. So we have the appendix, rectum, and then anus. The appendix, whilst this function is pretty unknown, There are lots of theories about this 4-inch tube attached to your intestines. One of them is that it stores a house for good bacteria. Then we have the rectum. This is where feces are stored before it being released out of the anus. As the rectum fills with feces, it expands and sends signals to the brain to say that it needs to be released. So this is where your feces is released. Once your rectum has sent the signals to the brain, the anus is the final sphincter in the digestive system. You can tell a lot by somebody's diet and how their poo is formed, and can be a sign of underlying health problems. So here we actually have the Bristol stool chart. It has defined characteristics of what is a healthy poo, and also what could be wrong with somebody if their poo is like this. So to achieve the perfect poo, which if we go back again on a page would be type 4, so like a smooth sausage or snake with no cracks and easily passed. So you will need to have 33% fruit and vegetables within your diet. This is ideally over a week. I mean, if you have a bad day of only eating 1 or 2 vegetables, then that's fine, as long as you try and make it up for the rest of the week. And again, with starchy foods such as bread, potatoes and rice. Obviously, within those starchy foods, it's things like wholemeal bread as opposed to white bread, sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes, those sort of healthier carbohydrates. And then we have 15% in dairy or dairy alternatives, and those are things like milk, cheese, yogurt and eggs. You can have soya milk, you can have alternative cheeses. Certain cheeses are healthier. There's like goat's cheese, which is healthier than cow cheese. And then we have protein, 12%. This means lean meat, so 5% mince, chicken, turkey, those sort of meats. 2 portions of fish a week, one being an oily fish such as mackerel. The other one can be like a salmon or a tuna fish. And then we have 7% saturated fats and sugars, so all the yummy things that you shouldn't really be eating much of. And again, if you have a bad day of eating a couple of chocolate bars or a couple of packet of crisps, that's fine, but then the rest of the week try and then continue to eat healthily. You should aim to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, and that's not including if you have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Your body treats water differently than it does a cup of tea or coffee or a drink with milk in. And then we've got references. So thank you ever so much. I hope you have enjoyed my PowerPoint. This is the first time I've done one, and hopefully it's been okay. Thank you ever so much. Bye.